warm welcome to this maiden edition of Emotional Health. My name is Perpetua Fonki and I am the Director of Clinical Counseling in the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. Emotional health has been going on radio for a while now, but we have decided to bring it to you on television. And today I'm going to be talking about mental health awareness. When we talk about emotional health, we are talking about mental health. And so I want to introduce mental health to you, not the way you have known before. In our communities, when you talk about mental health, we have several appellations. People start talking about things like colo or colomental, or they talk about Chris man or Chris woman, and they think that you are an outcast. But I want you to know that mental health issues are with us to stay because they are a part of our life. So when we talk about mental health, we are simply referring to those things that affect your mood, your behavior, the way you feel, your feelings. The WHO has defined health not just as the absence of disease, but also as what we are when we are okay spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So we cannot neglect the mental part of our health. Why is mental health a topic that nobody wants to talk about? Of course, we have beliefs in our communities that when you talk about mental health issues, you are talking about curses, or you are talking about something that has to do with witchcraft, or you're talking about demon possession. And most of the time, that approach to mental health has led people to think that mental health is something that comes as a result of a crime that one committed, or it comes as a result of belonging to a family that's infested with witchcraft, or as a result of you associating with somebody that has bad habits. But I want you to know that mental health is present with us every day. When we talk about mental health, we are talking about things that range from little things like the stresses of life to acute mental health illnesses like schizophrenia. In our subsequent editions, we are going to be breaking down this bit by bit. But I want to first let you know that there are things that you need to do to stay emotionally healthy. And once you are emotionally healthy, you are taking care of your mental health. The very first thing I want you to do as a Christian or a non-Christian, I don't know what your beliefs are, is to hold on to God. The psalmist says that we have no hiding place, and so when you pour yourself out to God, God takes care of those internal struggles that you have that no one knows. The second thing I'm going to let you know is that you have to maintain a positive attitude. Don't feed yourself with a lot of negativity. You know, these days when you want to take up your phone, you have a lot of negative news coming in. People dying, accidents occurring, robbery, shootings, and all of that. You have to do some selective reading if you want to stay mentally healthy. Because what we don't realize is that negative news weighs us down in little bits, and gradually we glide into depression. Not knowing that we call that on ourselves by what we absorb and keep in our brains. Remember, each time you see something that is traumatic and you think about it, sometimes you shrivel because you relive the situation. Recently, I was in a church and a tire fired by, and a woman that was sitting by me was struggling to go under the chair or under the pew. Reason being that she has been in the war-torn zone in our country for a long time. And so any noise that comes to her now sounds like the sound of a gun. That is what we call trauma. Trauma that has come as a result of experiences. This woman obviously would have some issues because she's dealing with some mental health issues. trauma that comes as a result of the war that we have in the community is also a mental health issue. So why do we stigmatize? Did we call that on ourselves? No, we did not call that on ourselves. It just happened that we were present in a part of the country that has a crisis. And so we go through these experiences. Another thing that has come now that has also caused some mental health issues, believe me or not, is the COVID-19. Some people have lost relatives and they did not have the time to do the proper goodbyes and closures. And so a lot of them are grieving and are still grieving their loved ones that probably, according to our African tradition, were not buried in a dignified way, the way they would love them to be buried. And so their grief prolongs. Those are mental health issues, and these people obviously would need some help. Another thing that we can talk about COVID-19 is that people have gotten to know each other better, because I take the example of working couples. The husband gets up and gets out to work, the wife gets up and gets out to work, and when they come back in the evening, they are too tired to get to know each other in a very close way. But what COVID-19 has done in many homes is that families are stuck together. They get to know each other's habits even more closely, and they get to know how to deal with each other more closely. Some of this has turned out to be positive, while other has turned out to be negative. All of these, I can tell you, are mental health issues. So in emotional health, we are going to be going on and we'll be talking about a wide range of issues. In the meantime, what do you need to do to stay healthy? Eat well. When I talk about eating well, I'm not talking about large quantities. I'm talking about the right type of food. Get a lot of fiber in, get some vegetables, get some fruits, and reduce your intake of carbohydrates and sugars. Once the body is healthy inside, your mind too is healthy. What else can you do? A little bit of exercise a day is good for you. You know, especially for the working class, most of the time you sit in front of the computer the whole day, rolling on your chair, and your exercise is very, very minimal. You need to get up and walk a little bit. Don't call the secretary to bring you that piece of paper that you need. Get up and go to the secretary's office, or get up and go get your own coffee. Those little things will help you exercise the body a little bit, and once you feel good inside, you feel good in the brain. Another thing you need to do is get enough sleep. Don't push all the office work to the house, and when you get at home, you continue working, and then you reduce your hours of sleep. A minimum of 6 hours a day of sleep is good for you, but up to 8 hours is even more advantageous. So make sure you get enough sleep. Keep good company. You know, sometimes we toxify ourselves by the company that we keep. If you want to remain healthy and happy, make sure that your associates are the people who encourage healthy habits around you and who keep you happy. If you have people who keep feeding you with negative news, maybe you need to have a conversation with them. There are other things that we are going to be unveiling as we move on with emotional health. But for now, keep yourself happy and stay healthy until we meet next time. God bless you. My name is Perpetua Fonki.